I was like, it was always a goal, but I think as I kind of grew and got older, I realized how hard it was going to be.
Yeah.
You know, because some of these guys are just, they're so talented.
Yeah.
They're so gifted athletically. And they're bigger and they're stronger and they're faster.
Yeah.
So like, how do you
separate yourself?
How do you figure it out? You know?
This the timeout podcast.
Everybody, we are back with another episode of Timeout Podcast. It's your boy, as always, Nick J. We got Steve back with us. Guys, we got a special one for you guys today. We got a former Boston College standout, where he was an all Big East honor, who went on to play at the NFL level with the New Orleans Saints. Since then, he has built a coaching resume that is in comparison to not many. A 3-time state champion with St. Joseph Regional, and one of the most respected coaches, not only in the state of New Jersey, but in the country. He is one of the best to ever do it. And now he's trying to go back to back. We have none other than Augie Hoffmann on Timeout Podcast. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
This is great, man. I love this.
I appreciate it.
Love the vibe.
We appreciate it. So here on Timeout, any guests we have, we always want to get you a little warm. We want to get you a little comfortable. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we're going to ask you some questions that's going to get you thinking.
All right.
As a head coach, we're not even going to go to your assistant years.
Okay.
As a head coach at St.Joes, who is your top 10 players all time? Any position.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if you want to go in order, but that's up to you.
Nah, just...
Top 10 all time.
Order.
Top 10 all time.
Well, you know, we have 7 guys that I coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And are we going to talk about coaching them when they were in high school?
Yes, in high school.
All right. So, okay. Out of those 7, I have to put Audric Estime, right?
Yeah.
Luke Whippler, plays for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Joe Giles Harris.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
I went to private school with him actually growing up, by the way.
I think if you asked anybody, would Joe be, Joe's in his 8th year in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
He was my first captain.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean.
His brother played too, no? JT.
Will played, but JT is one of the best lacrosse players in the world.
Yeah.
Talk about a athletic family. So that's 3. Oh, man. Howard Cross is probably one of the best defensive linemen I've ever coached. That's 4. Nate Bailey, number 5.
Okay. It's our guy, Nate.
He made the list. He was wondering if he was going to make it.
Nate, he's absolutely making it. Kid named Tommy Hatton.
Okay.
You've never heard of, probably. Tommy Hatton played offensive line for us. He was my first All-American, was the number 1 center in the country.
Wow.
Went to North Carolina, doing big things in the business world right now.
Okay.
He was an animal. That's number 6. Oh, man. Thinking. So Nick Patty was our quarterback. He was my second year as head coach. He went to 3 state championships.
Wow.
Yeah. So Nick, number 7.
I think he was the quarterback in my high school era.
So Nick was 15, 16, 17.
Yes. I remember going to the game. Yeah.
Yep. Nick.
3. That's tough.
Was that 7?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's hard, right? Jameer Joseph is as talented as we've ever had anybody. That's 8.
Wow.
I'm thinking of just in high school now.
Yeah.
Louis Acceus.
That's our guy.
Linebacker.
Spring Valley native.
That's 2 Rockland right there.
Rockland County.
Rockland made a few, yo.
10. somebody's going to rip me. I left him off. I would say, man, so Josh Jackson keeps coming to my mind as another offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Went to North Carolina State.
Yeah.
Was an all-conference guard.
Wow.
A murderer in high school.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those are the guys in high school that were probably in the top 10. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah.
More or less that's probably the 10.
Yeah, I would say that they're in every. If I had a roster of guys I coached, they're on the list somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. You know? So yeah.
Now off that, I'm sure most of them would make it. What would be your all-time St. Joe's lineup? Both sides of the ball.
Oh. Whew. All right. So we had this argument, right? The quarterback position, right? Nick Patty went to 3 state championships.
Yeah, that's tough to beat.
You'll think that's like locked.
And won how many of them?
He won one.
One,
We
okay.
lost 2.
So 2016 one?
We won the 16 one. But Lamar Best is so good.
Yeah, that kid's talented.
Right? That's hard. Like, I'm keeping him off the list right now. But
yeah.
we don't win the state championship this year without him.
Yeah. With a torn shoulder.
With a torn shoulder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's just so talented. He might be the quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I kept him off the top 10. I only had him 1 year or 2 years. But offensive line wise, I could tell you, it will be Hatton, Josh Jackson, Luke Whippler, Nick Russo, who's an animal, went to Wofford. Probably, who's 5? Trying to think.
Does Christian Alvarez get a nod?
Christian Alvarez. And we're leaving some good ones off.
Yeah.
Christian Alvarez was a killer.
Yeah.
Stone cold killer.
Yeah.
100%. I'm trying to go back. I'm forgetting him. Defensive line wise, Howard Cross, 1,000%.
This is interesting. This is an interesting one.
I'll tell you what. I mean, our 2 defensive ends right now are as good. And Smith Vilbert, who I didn't even mention, is playing with the Minnesota Vikings right now.
Yeah.
But in high school,
yeah,
these 2 that we have, Chaz Gray and Cam Aim, are as good as we've ever had. And I'll tell you what, I'll throw Vinny Ferrara in there too.
Okay.
Because I never had a D lineman outside of Howard that played almost every single snap of the game.
Yeah. That's tough.
You know what I mean?
Stuff, yeah.
You know, running backs, Audric's at the top. Nate is maybe the best all-around offensive player I ever had. You know, like he just did everything.
Yeah.
Everybody asks me, who would you take, Audric or Nate? It's like impossible. You know what I mean? It's like Sophie's choice. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do it.
It's like one is Derrick Henry, the other's like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nate returned punts, he returned kicks, he played wide receiver. I mean, he's the best overall offensive player we've ever had. Audric is probably the best running back we've ever had.
He won the state player of the year.
Audric as a senior, I don't know. He rushed for 2,000 yards in 8 games. It was a COVID year. I mean, it's not even fair what he was able to do.
I didn't know he was that crazy.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
2,000 yards in 8 games.
You know, linebackers, Joe is in there. Lewis is in there. Evan Stewart is another guy that you've never heard of, probably, that would be in that list. Connor Greco is a safety. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to go down the list of these guys, but yeah, I would say those guys, that's the core group of greats that I coach as a head coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you've had a crazy list. I'm not gonna lie. It's like every year, but it's like every year, like going even into this year. Right. You know, a guy like Nate leaves, Lamar leaves, Christian leaves, but then you look at the new lineup and it's like you still got Tahj and Chaz and Cam and Jay.
I'm not even talking about Tahj. I mean, that's
yeah, that yo.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tahj is, Tahj Gray is probably, when it's all said and done, will be the best football players St.Joes has ever seen.
Wow.
And that's not just coming from me.
Yeah.
Coach Karsich has coached some guys. I mean, guys that played in the league himself. You know, a lot of guys. Devin and Jason.
Yeah,
you can go down the list. But in high school, I don't know that there's ever been a kid like him.
Yeah. That dominant.
He's just.
It's a big statement.
He's just that good.
Yeah.
And
he's the best linebacker in the country as a junior.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to college coaches talk about him. I listen to guys that I'm friends with that coach in the NFL. And they're like, if he was walking through our locker room right now, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's our starting middle linebacker.
Wow.
You know, that's what they look like.
That's a big compliment. That's
wow. Wow. That's a big, I could see it though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like, it's like just, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
Kid's different.
Yeah.
He's different.
He's one of them.
So at Joe's, we know that you won 3 championships, right? 3 state championships, 2016, 2018, and just recently in 2025.
Right.
Out of those 3, which one you say is the hardest one that you've won?
The hardest to win was no doubt in 2025.
25? That season started off,
it was
a lot of key pieces.
We had so many ups and downs. I've never had so many games canceled on us. You know, injuries to key players. You know, you lose your quarterback, backup comes in, who's not really a backup. Mason Geis is not really a backup. He's a starter at a bunch of other schools.
Yeah.
Comes in, has the game of his life against Bergen, wins us that game, breaks his foot.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, when that happened, I was like, oh man, this is not gonna, you know. And then to go and for Lamar to do what he did, it was just like the ultimate sacrifice, right? And they did that the whole year. I mean, they constantly were.
They were fighters.
Yeah. They were fighters, man. You know, they were fighters on the field and off. And I just think it was a lot of bumps along the way to kind of get that one done. In 16, I would say we were probably the favorite in the league. If I had to really look at it, you know, objectively.
Yeah.
We did lose to Bosco that year in the regular season, and that was when we were still in Group 3.
Okay.
So we didn't get a chance to play him again.
Yeah.
We beat Bergen, and we beat everybody else. But we were the better team that year.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know. And in 18, we lost to American Heritage the first game of the season. We should have never. We went after a punt in the end zone. We should have just let him punt it, get the ball midfield, and then kick a field goal and win the game.
Yeah.
We lost that one, and then we lost to Bergen. We were up 21-10, and we ended up losing to Bergen. But then we came back and beat Bergen in the finals and that was our first Group 4 win in a long time. But I think if you look at it, talent-wise, we had the majority of the talent then. I think this year we had a lot of talent, but I think it was pretty even. Talent throughout the league, you know?
Yeah.
And just to kind of go, for us to kind of overcome what we overcame and win it, that was the hardest road to a win.
Yeah.
You lost someone on the O-line, right? You lost an O-line or defensive line? This year?
This year?
This year, yeah.
This past year?
Yeah. You lost like what? 3 or 4 starters or something?
You talking about like that are coming back?
No, like
to injury?
No, like to injuries, like the road to win that championship.
Yeah.
Nate had injuries.
Well, Nate had a bad ankle sprain. He was out for a few weeks. Lamar, obviously. Mason. I don't know if there was any linemen that got hurt.
Oh God.
I don't think so. But it was like, I mean, we were banged up.
Yeah.
And we had stuff that like Trayvon had turf toe.
Yeah.
We had little
in the playoffs too.
Yeah. We had things that were just coming up. We played St. Peter's. We didn't practice the whole week. There was something, a bug. We didn't practice the whole week going into St. Peter's early in the year. Yeah. So everybody was sick. I mean, it was just like, knockdown after knockdown. Yeah. So, but it was, listen, to their credit, they fought through it, you know? It was good.
Yeah. So, who do you think out of the players you've coached had the highest football IQ?
Nate, for sure. Joe Giles Harris, for sure. at their respective positions. I mean, Nate had a good feel for the holes in the defense and all that was. Joe understood. Joe was like a general on the field, both sides of the ball. It's funny because Joe was my first year as a head coach. And we went to McDonough, my first game down in Baltimore, Maryland, and we won. That was a good game, a big win for us. Then we go out to St. Edward and we lose 42-0.
Oh my God.
And that team was, and they could have put 100 on us. And Joe was playing outside linebacker at the time. And they pretty much took him out of the game. They removed him from the game by their formations and stuff like that, kept him away from the ball. And on the bus ride home, he came up to me and there was like, I felt like I had the plague. Nobody wanted to, it was very lonely on the way home.
Yeah.
And he came up and he's like, hey, I'm moving to inside linebacker. And I just looked at him and he was like, I was useless today and I'm going to play inside. Yeah, as a first-year head coach, I'm like, it's a great idea. So he moved inside, and we didn't have those problems anymore. So you can't remove that. You can't take that guy out of the mix.
Yeah.
So Joe really understood. Joe understood how to play the game. Nate understood the game. Luke Whippler was probably too smart for his own good. Yeah. He was our left tackle, and he's checking things that the quarterback wasn't checking. Like I would have to tell him, you can't check this play. Like, stop. I'd be seeing him turn around looking at the quarterback, and Michael's like, looking at him. Michael Alimo, who's another great athlete, but I'm like, dude, that's not your job. You block. You're not changing play. Wow. And he was right a lot of the time.
He's just trying to get his message across.
Yeah. So, those three I would say are probably best IQ.
Okay. So where does it all begin for you, though? So where does this football background, where does this...
The love for the sport. The
love for the sport.
Yeah, I think, I started playing football when I was in second grade, and I was always big. I was heavy. So I was always a lineman, you know. And thank God I grew up in Park Ridge. There was no weight limit, so I could play.
Yeah.
And I had success early because I was bigger than everybody for the most part. And, at that time, the league was not what it was now or what it is now, but it was always like, all right, that if you want to really do something, you got to go to one of these three, at the time it was three. It was Bosco, Bergen, or St.Joes.
Yeah.
And my mom, she wanted me to go to Bergen. We didn't really know much about and I live in Park Ridge, which was 2 minutes away from St.Joes. But a good, a family friend of ours, he had graduated from there, and he was like, no, if you're going to go anywhere, you're going to go to Joe's. And then he started bringing me up there, and I met Coach, and just was a great fit.
Yeah.
It really was just a good fit. The culture of the school has not changed. It's a family atmosphere. It's very tight knit. I always call us, we're the blue collar school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I say there's a lot of work boots running around St. Joe's, and it just felt like home. And, we had a great run when I was there, and that really kind of propelled me to kind of take it, wanting to be great, there were guys that I can remember watching as a freshman thinking that like, oh man, I don't know if I'll ever be able to play here.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that way even going into my junior year. I started a few games as a sophomore, but there were other guys in my class that started every game.
Yeah.
I think
how you getting into that lineup?
I think mentally I was not there where I needed to be. Okay. And then even as a junior, I was always trying to keep up with the seniors.
Yeah.
There's guys on Nick Gallo, Ray Lafredo. These are guys that, in the history books, people would know those names, and I was just trying to like keep up with them.
Yeah.
Vinny Churchill, who's he's like a brother to me.
Yeah.
Ernie Savolto. These are guys that I looked up to and never put myself in their category.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, as this thing progressed, I don't see it, but everybody else kind of saw it, and then it just kind of blew up after my junior season. I didn't get one piece of college mail my entire junior season. And now I'm thinking like, oh man, this is bad.
Yeah.
You know, before the season started, Coach and I had a talk, and he was like, listen, I don't know if you're going to be big enough to play Division I football height wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, he wanted to kind of like temper my expectations. And I had that in my head the whole year.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get any mail, nothing. So I'm like, oh man, he was right. I stink. You know? And literally we win the state championship my junior year. That Monday, he calls me in his office and he's like, I don't know what he wanted. He's like, I got something for you. And he literally bent down behind his desk and he picked up 2 big cardboard boxes of letters. I mean, I'm talking, I don't know, hundreds of letters.
All for you?
Yeah.
What?
And he's like, here, I didn't want to give these to you because you were playing well and I didn't want your head to explode. And the whole time I'm thinking like, I'm bad. Like this is not going to work, you know? So I'll never forget, like I run to the payphone in the school, which is right outside the gym. There used to be a payphone outside the gym.
Sounds crazy.
And I call my mom and I'm like, Ma, you won't believe this. I have all these letters. Like I have hundreds of letters. And she couldn't believe it, right? And then that same day, I'll never forget, I'm walking down the hall, the gym hall, and I see this guy in a Boston College jacket. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking right away, oh, they're here for Vinny. Like that's just kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it was Al Golden,
mm-hmm.
who is now the defensive coordinator with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh wow, that's tough.
And he comes in and
Bengals.
And he's like, Augie? And I said, yeah. He's like, Coach Golden, whatever, we're talking. And he's like, I want you to know, Boston College wants to offer you a full scholarship.
What?
And I was like, come on.
This all happened in one day. That's crazy.
One day. And I was like speechless, you know. Call my mom again. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to believe this. And then it was like every day, offer. It was every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and then they used to come in FedEx envelopes. So there was a FedEx envelope every single day.
Yeah. Nebraska,
Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, you name it.
Wow.
And it turned overnight. You know, I went from thinking that it wasn't going to work out to it working out.
Yeah.
You know?
If I'm not mistaken, you were a top 15 lineman in the country.
Yeah, my senior year. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So then, that was like before all these crazy rankings and all that stuff. Yeah.
So at what point in high school did the switch kind of flip for you where like, I gotta like be the best at this? Or like,
yeah, I think it was really going into my junior year. I think there were some expectations that I put on myself, but more from my teammates that were like, it's time now. Like there is no more, you know, you need to know that you belong.
Yeah.
You know? And those guys really, that class, that senior class, my junior year was very much, they had been to 2 state championships already. And now like, now it was their turn to kind of lead and get it done.
Yeah.
And they, you know, we had some really good players in that class but the team itself was super close.
Yeah.
So it was more like not wanting to let them down.
Yeah.
You know, and I was starting to kind of come into my own. So I would say that's really when it started to really click.
Yeah.
You know?
So even for athletes that are looking up to you, even your own players, you got a lot of those offers your junior year, right? So going to your senior year, how did you not allow your head to get too big?
Yeah.
In terms of your day-to-day, in terms of your work? Because at the end of the day, like you said, part of the reason maybe why you were going as hard as you were your junior year is because you thought you was bad versus being complacent maybe and knowing that you're one of the best linemen in the country, you know?
I think first at home, like my mom and dad were the most supportive of anybody, but they were also the most grounding. You know, my dad forever has always said, somebody's out there that's better. There's always somebody better, right? There's somebody bigger, badder, stronger, that they're out there. You haven't met them yet.
Yeah.
You know, so that was always in the back of my head. My mom, you know, my mom was never the type to say, wait till your father comes home.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So if I needed if I stepped out, like, my mom gave it to me And then if my dad wanted to round two me, it would have, but that didn't really happen very often because I think he knew my mom took care of it. So I always had that. And I had some very special people in my life that were, keeping me grounded, and always had to work, so very, very, I'm blessed to have those people in my life,
Yeah. So how did that transition into you deciding on Boston College and you playing over there?
I think it came full circle because we took a visit up to BC. It was the winter time. Mm-hmm. And if you know New England in the wintertime, it's very gray. And there was a time period where I was kind of feeling myself a little bit also, right? Because I had Nebraska was national champs. They were one of my first offers and back then. And obviously the Michigans, the Ohio States, like I said, Notre Dame was my dream school. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I went to BC and I was like, I'm not coming here. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then as the recruiting, progressed and Coach Golden was the best recruiter I've ever been around. He recruited the hell out of me. And then I took one of my visits there and I was on a visit with seven North Jersey guys.
Yeah.
And I was the only one who had not committed yet. So it was very much like, you got to.
Yeah.
They were like, we were all the same people.
Yeah.
Greg Toll from Ramapo, Frankie Mizzarelli, Tommy Martin. These are, Keith Hem. These are guys that names that you don't recognize. But I mean, Brian Flores, New York guy, he was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He's now the defense coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
We were all on the same visit.
Oh.
And, these are my best friends to this day.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just felt really at home. I felt like Boston College was an extension of St.Joes, really, to be honest, because we had 8,200 kids in the whole school. BC is a self-contained campus. Mm-hmm. It's not like one of these city campuses that you walk around, there's 60,000 people. You're on campus, you know all the familiar faces. It was, for me, that was the best fit.
Yeah.
And
you brought law school. Yeah, my brother went to Boston College for law.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So how good were you guys at Boston College?
My class, I think, was top 15 in the country recruiting.
Yeah.
And my freshman year was Coach O'Brien, our head coach's third year as head coach. And they had gone 4-7 before we got there. And then that senior class with Frank Chamberlain played in the NFL. Chris Hovan was a first round pick. Darnell Alford was a third round pick. They went 8-3. We went 8-3, went to a bowl game.
Yeah.
And then that was my freshman year. And then BC went to I think 13 or 14 straight bowl games.
Oh, wow.
And in that time frame, Matty Ryan's freshman year, I was a fifth year.
Okay.
And he was awesome as a freshman.
Yeah.
Right? He redshirted. By the time he was a senior, they got up to number 2 in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, but they were loaded. They had him. BJ Raji was a first round draft pick. Ron Brace was another big time. I think he was a third round pick. Brian Toll. You go down the list of guys. They were loaded. Young Mark Herzlich. So they like I said, they played in the ACC championship twice.
Yeah.
And then Coach O'Brien left.
Yeah.
Actually, Coach O'Brien left, I think before Matt graduated. But all that talent was there. So, we were kind of there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I think we knew who we were. You know the type of kid you're going to get at BC. Mm-hmm. You're never going to get, outside of William Green, and there's been a couple other guys in that category, we were never getting the upper echelon skill position players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We made our money in the trenches on both sides of the ball, right down the middle, with our offensive line, defensive line, running backs, and linebackers.
Okay, so for people that don't know, certain schools are for example, how people say Ohio State is a receiver school.
Sure.
Boston College is more of a
offensive, O-line, D-line guy.
Okay.
And listen, we've had plenty of great talent.
Yeah.
Plenty of great skill kids. But if you look at the league, listen, we're playing against 2001 Miami. Which is arguably the best team in the history of college football.
Wow.
They had 3 first round draft pick running backs.
Yeah.
Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, and Clinton Portis.
How crazy was that?
Nuts. And then, oh, by the way,
in Miami you played, or?
We played him down there, but we played him in 01 at home.
Oh.
And we almost beat him.
Oh, wow.
But you had Ed Reed. So let's put this in perspective. The defensive line, Jerome McDougal, first rounder. Vince Wilfork, first rounder.
Vince Wilfork.
William Joseph, first rounder. And then a couple other second and third rounders.
Yeah.
Jonathan Vilma, first round linebacker. DJ Williams, first round linebacker. Ed Reed, first round safety.
Hall of Famer.
Sean Taylor, first round safety. I think it was Antrell Roll, one of the corners.
Yeah.
Ray Buchanan. They had like 8 first rounders on defense. Offense, I just gave you the three running backs. Andre, oh my God, the wide receiver.
Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Shockey. Brian McKinney.
Oh, Jeremy Shockey. Oh.
Brian McKinney, first round left tackle. Vernon Carey, first round offensive guard. I mean, you go down the list.
Yeah.
You think all levels of football, that's probably the best team you've physically like been at a game to watch or played in?
Yeah, that's the most talent. That's the most talent compiled on one team ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Devin Hester's young.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So like,
wow.
And the league, that's the thing. People don't understand. The Big East has gone away now. But Mike Vick.
Yeah.
2000 Mike Vick.
You guys paid him too?
Yeah.
How is that?
Was the scariest athlete I've ever seen. Like, first of all, he could throw the ball from here to next week. He's a 4.3.
Yeah.
Dangerous. But Antonio Bryant at Pitt, a young Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh my gosh.
That league.
These are all Big East talent.
These are all Big East. This is all Big East. This is all in the years that we were there.
Who do you think was the best player in the Big East in your time? If you think Michael Vick?
I mean, Michael Vick, any one of the Miami teams, you can go down the list. Those guys were dangerous. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but go to West Virginia. Amos Zaraway. West Virginia had Pac-Man Jones. I mean, like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, in hindsight, obviously now we know what a lot of those players turned out to be. But, like, did you guys know that you were facing, like, some special teams? Or did you, like...
Yeah, I mean, you knew Miami was Miami.
Yeah.
You knew they had everybody. Virginia Tech, Michael Vick, you knew he
was going to be special.
Yeah. I mean, they had a kid named Corey Moore who played defensive end.
Yeah.
He's 5'10", 200 pounds, led the conference in sacks. I mean, it was a freak show. Dwight Freeney, Syracuse.
Oh.
I mean,
like
there are guys like, it was a great conference back then. And then you played Notre Dame every year. We did.
And basketball in that conference during that time was crazy too.
Yeah.
That's back and forth for both sports. Damn.
So, a lot of talent in that league. But, finance is what they are.
Yeah.
Miami and Virginia Tech left first, I think. And then Syracuse and us left. And then Pittsburgh left. And then it kind of, falls apart.
Yeah.
So
during your time there, when did the NFL start to become like an actual vision? Like, did you go into Boston College thinking I could potentially go to the league? Or did you kind of go like, I'm going to play college football, get a degree? Like, what was your mindset going into Boston College? And when did you transition into thinking, wait, I could actually potentially go to the league?
Yeah, I think I went in naive, saying like, oh, my goal is to play in the NFL, right? Everybody wants to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then I got there, and then you realize there's like a million of me running around.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", I'm 300 pounds. I'm playing with guys that are 6'8", 315, 320.
Yeah.
That can run faster than me and jump higher than me. And, that's when you start to realize how big the world is.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, this is going to be a little harder than I thought, and then, playing with guys that are there, right? Like Danny Copen played center for us. He was a 5th round draft pick. he played for 2 quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? So like Mark Colombo was a first-round offensive tackle.
That's crazy.
I played with Chris Snee. Chris Snee might be in the Hall of Fame by the time he's done. He's a year behind me.
Yeah.
And he came in and you're like, wow, he's just different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Athletically.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was always a goal, but I think as I kind of grew and got older, I realized how hard it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys are just, they're so talented.
Yeah.
They're so gifted athletically, and they're bigger and they're stronger and they're faster.
Yeah.
So like, how do you
separate yourself?
How do you figure it out? You
yeah.
know? So I think it was kind of, for me, it was like, you just got to kind of do everything right, and you got to be in the right place at the right time. Because I was never going to be a first-round pick. Every grade that had me was either a 7th. Like, I had the highest thing I ever saw was a 7th round grade. Yeah. But everything else was free agent.
Yeah.
So I knew what I was going to be. Yeah. Like, I knew if somebody saw something that I had a shot at getting drafted, but it was most likely going to be a free agent. And that's what it was.
This is what it is.
And then you got to just be better than, you got to just do everything right.
Yeah.
And then eventually it either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into the draft, you go undrafted, right? How do you not get down on yourself?
Yeah.
Or like you said, you kind of maybe already thought.
Yeah. I kind of knew.
Okay.
I kind of knew what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was hoping that being named first team All Big East would help. Yeah. That doesn't change anybody's opinion. You know what I mean? But I kind of always felt like I'll at least get a shot, and I was hoping for that. And, as the draft was going on, a couple teams called. San Diego called during the draft, and they were actually going to draft another lineman. Mm-hmm. And they didn't draft me. They did draft somebody. They didn't draft me. And then New Orleans called before the draft ended.
Yeah.
And they hadn't drafted a lineman in that class, in our draft class.
Okay.
So, and it was Jim Haslett who called me. He was the head coach. And, it was actually a pretty funny story. Chris Snee, who was our right guard, had a little bit of a knee issue in the last game of the season, last 2 games, I think. So I kicked over to right, and we had somebody come in, and they were looking to draft Chris. New Orleans was thinking about drafting him. And, and so he said that we were watching him and then saw you in the last 2 games. And we kind of thought, there's something here. So it was cool hearing from the head coach, just how it works, right? They're looking for Chris and saw me. And that's how I ended up in New Orleans, to be honest. That's the God's honest truth.
Right place, right time.
Yeah. Played well against Virginia Tech and Rutgers in the end. And that's how I got there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now you go into preseason for, if I'm not mistaken, being undrafted, you don't get a guaranteed contract.
No.
So you're going into preseason.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You just got to work your ass off and pray.
Yeah. So
do you remember what the feeling was like during those preseason days, during that day-to-day of I'm sure on teams, I don't know, maybe out of 53 guys, I don't know, 30 might be guaranteed or 40 might be guaranteed.
Right.
Knowing that you're in that bubble of the in-between. What was that pressure like? And how did you kind of combat that?
I kind of took, for the first time ever, the me against the world type of thing.
Yeah.
I knew I know who I am. I know I'm not more athletic than a lot of these guys. I'm not bigger than a lot of them. So what's my niche going to be? You got to be in the right place. You got to always be early. You can't be late. The coaches got to trust you.
Yeah.
I got to be a guy that they can trust. And I'm not screwing around. I'm not showing up, hungover to meetings, all these things.
Yeah.
And I think the way I worked ingratiated me to the staff and the players, because it's the most cutthroat business ever, and I just kind of kept my mouth shut. I didn't really talk to too many people in the beginning.
Yeah.
And ended up, by the time I was done, making some really good friends down there. But it was just trying to do everything the right way and always show up. You know what I mean? Like you can't really be hurt. You can't be sick if you're a free agent. Then you're on practice squad. There's no days off, you know, because you could do everything right and still get cut.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So don't give yourself any more.
Yeah, I just learned that early. Like, you can't be sick. You can't be hurt.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good thing to learn for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So what was the NFL experience like for you? Was it more than anything you started interrupting?
Yeah.
Was it more than what a kid could dream of? Was it a little not what you expected? Was it, I don't know.
It was different because the locker room was so different than what I had come from in college.
Okay.
Like Boston College in my years was a tight-knit group, right? Everybody hung out. All classes, all backgrounds, everybody was tight. You get to the NFL locker room and you're a 23, 24-year-old kid. Some of these guys are much younger now, but you're in a locker room with 34-year-old that's got 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
He's not looking to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Like there is none of that.
Yeah.
And some of those guys know that you're trying to take their job.
Yeah.
So, you know, I found my group of guys.
Yeah.
And just kind of hung with them, and I was cool. I'm cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, but you just kind of find your group of guys, and you just kind of do what you do. You know,
Yeah.
Because it's just different. The dynamic is different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, throughout high school, college, and then eventually the NFL, how often were you in conversation with coaching, with the coaches and all?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different now. Like I would never text my coach ever.
Okay.
I text my players 50 times a day. You know. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't. You just didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know. They talked to you when they needed to talk to you, and if I had questions, I would go to them. But it wasn't the way it is now. You know. So, you know, and in the NFL, you learn so much from the guys that you're playing with. You know, some of these guys are 9-10 year vets that have gone through it.
Yeah.
And they're helping you. You know what I mean? Like LaCharles Bentley, who was one of the premier interior offensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah.
Had he not gotten hurt, surefire Hall of Famer at center and guard. You know, I got to be close with him, so I learned a lot watching him, the way he prepared, and you know, he would have me grade his games because I wouldn't travel.
Yeah.
You know, I'd grade the game for him, and then we would talk about the game after.
Yeah.
But you talk about a guy from another planet, like in terms of his athleticism and his gifts.
Yeah.
Like freak.
Yeah.
Freak. I would never be able to do what he did.
Yeah.
But I try to like take some of the stuff that he's teaching, you know, but I'm like, dude, you're doing things that regular humans can't do.
Yeah.
You know? So, but you know, I was lucky with the coaches that I've had along the way. I was always lucky with the guys that were vets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you pick up a little bit and you just try to be uncuttable, right? Like you gotta be a guy that they just can't cut.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So transitioning out of it, what made you feel like you were ready to stop playing?
Yeah, well, that wasn't my choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was in New Orleans for 2 years, and front office said, "Listen, you have to get more experience," because I was on practice squad for 2 years. So that's when NFL Europe was still around. You guys are probably too young to even remember NFL.
I've heard of it, but I didn't.
Yeah. So what it was basically it was a league that you played it overseas. So it was Germany. It used to be like Spain and a bunch of other, but they condensed it down to Germany and Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. And you were every city, a bunch of cities in Germany had a team, and then Amsterdam had a team. And that's where guys like me that needed more experience went before they came back. So I played the 2005 season in New Orleans. I was on practice. That was the Katrina year.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah. So we played that. We were in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
And went right, you know, that was the year in 2006, the World Cup was in Germany.
Yeah.
So everything got pushed up.
Okay.
So you used to get like 2 months off. And I think maybe more than that. I was back in training camp in like 5 weeks after the season, 5 or 6 weeks after the season.
Yeah.
So, I went home for a while, went right back to training, was in training camp in Tampa. And then I was in Hamburg, Germany for 3 months and played a full season over there, played a 10-game season over there, had transitioned from guard to center and, played every game, started every game there, and then came back. And when I came back, they had let Hazlitt go. A bunch of guys were gone. That's when Sean Payton's first year. So I came back to basically a whole new team. Oh. And I got hurt in minicamp. Oh. So I ended up having 3 ankle surgeries in 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my agents at the time, who I'm still very close with, were like, listen, my job is to protect you. This is over. He's like, I can't, if you want me to represent you, you're not playing anymore. If you want to still play, I'm not representing you.
Oh, wow.
And we had that kind of relationship because he knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
And he kind of knew financially what would happen if I stopped playing. And I ended up making more money being hurt because he understood the collective bargaining agreement and how it worked.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to retire, which is hilarious, right? I had to retire after 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the end of football at that point,
So did you always know you wanted to coach, or were you just kind of ready to push away the sport completely?
Yeah, there was definitely a depression right after.
Yeah.
Because you are so used to being told where to be, what time to be there. Here's your regiment.
Yeah.
You almost become institutionalized a little bit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for a lot of guys, and it happened to me, who I was, what in my mind was the football player, not the human being.
Yeah.
And that had to change. Had to change that. So, eventually just couldn't lay on the couch anymore.
Yeah.
So knew I wanted to teach, knew I wanted to coach. Kind of got that thing started and I started by tutoring at Huntington Learning Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was tutoring the SATs.
Okay.
And, went back to talk to Coach Carthage at St.Joes, and I had told him that I wanted to teach and coach, and I wanted to go to public school. Because everybody had told me at that time, you got to get into public school, you got to get into the pension system.
Yeah.
This is how to go. Forget about Catholic school. And that was my goal, to go there and have him use his connections to get me a public school job.
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely not. He's like, you're going to come back here and coach and teach. And I'm like, Coach, I don't know. He had such a big shadow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to forge my own path. And really, really because of him, I went back to St.Joes.
Oh, wow.
So he got me in there, and I started coaching the freshman team. I coached the freshman team for 2 years. Probably the most fun I've ever had coaching.
It's
I was
fun.
28 years old, right?
Yo,
yeah.
it's fun. Yeah,
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But I knew those guys I'm going to make them tough and, all that stuff. And I taught 5 periods of English.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know how much, looking back, I don't know if that was how great I did, but.
How much did you teach them?
Yeah, exactly. Right. They taught me probably more. I used to call it life skills. It went from English to life skills. And then, after my second year, Coach, he started talking about his exit strategy.
Oh.
And
so was he saying it in a way like you're potentially involved, or was he just kind of like speaking out loud and you just happen to be there all the time? As you know what I'm saying?
He was like, I'm gonna hand this off to you.
Oh wow.
So you better be ready.
So the freshman team was good, or what do you think
we
went
saw? We went 8-1 and then 8-0. Or 8-0-1.
Oh.
The 0-1 was my fault. 100%. I should have kicked a field goal, and I tried to punch it in for a touchdown, and we got stopped against Bergen in the first half, and we kind of sputtered. But those two teams brought St. Joe's back. Oh. Because the 2012 class was the first time since 1999, I think, we were number 1 in the state. That was my first year. It was my first freshman class. The 13 team, which was my second freshman class, we went back to back number 1s, nationally ranked.
Yeah.
That put us back on the map.
Yeah.
12 and 13.
Yeah.
We had won championships before that in
Yeah.
11. We lost in 10. We won in 9. Group 3.
Mm-hmm.
But we were never number 1.
Yeah.
And then those 2 teams were the 2 teams that got us going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eventually you took over in 2014 now?
I took over in 14.
14 now.
Yeah.
So what was that like in terms of, taking over from a legendary coach?
Mm-hmm.
And St.Joes has a big reputation.
Yeah.
So what was, were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was your feeling like?
I think all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I tell all those guys, and Joe and I always joke about it. I said, bro, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with me as a first-year head coach your senior year.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I just was I faked it a lot.
Yeah.
And I just kind of was trying to, Coach had laid such a blueprint down.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go back to this. He came back in 85.
Yeah.
When St.Joes they were not good.
Yeah.
And he really saved the school, And for years, you would hear people say, oh, man, what's going to happen when Tony Carstridge retires?
Yeah.
And I heard that as a player.
Yeah.
So now, Tony Carstridge retired, and it's my job.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm never going to win as many games as he did.
Yeah.
338 wins.
Yeah.
He put it in perspective for me, and we joke about it to this day. He said, don't worry about catching me. He goes, because if you coach for 30 years and you win 10 games a year, which is pretty damn good, you still haven't caught me.
Yeah.
Right? He's right.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. So it was a mixture of keeping the tradition and now raising the bar.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
And I stumbled a lot along the way, screwed up a lot. I think pissed a lot of people off along the way.
Yeah.
And then at some point I became very like me against everybody,
mm-hmm.
which is not who I am.
Yeah.
Because I was so determined, like, it's going to be I'm going to put my stamp on it. And I'm going to show everybody that we're going to, and then looking back on it, that was not the right way to be.
Yeah.
But coming full circle now,
mm-hmm.
and having had the experiences that I've had, being able to come back, a much healthier mentality, like
mm-hmm.
an understanding of how beautiful the past was and everything that went on, and paying homage to that, because without that, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yeah. And,
so learn some tough lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, thankful to be where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah. So where did the transition come from, taking over from where he was to now laying your groundwork to becoming one of the best teams in the state continuously?
Right. I think, listen, in 16 and 18, I kind of started to form my own identity.
Mm-hmm.
But really being gone for those 4 years,
mm-hmm.
and having a chance to really examine myself, the way I acted when I was at St.Joes the first
mm-hmm.
time, the way I did things, realizing that, like, you don't have to pull away from those things.
Yeah.
That's who made me who I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a player, as a young man,
mm-hmm.
like all of those things, like, so thankful
mm-hmm.
to a guy like Coach Carstridge for making me into, having such a huge piece of my life. Now, I didn't need to run from that.
Yeah.
I should have embraced it years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having a chance to step out of it and really be and mature.
Yeah.
That helped me kind of bridge the gap back.
Yeah. Yeah.
How hard is it to recruit in high school? Like high school football?
It's tough. I mean, I tell the guys, all the big time schools that come in, I'm like, our job is so much harder than yours. You get to go to California and Texas and Florida and Ohio. And I said, we have however many schools in the top 100 in the country.
Yeah.
6 miles apart from each other.
Yeah.
And we're all recruiting the same kids.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. It's really hard. Really hard.
Like, how was it like getting a guy like Lewis, for example?
So Lou, we almost screwed that up, right? Because Lou, as a freshman, went to Ramapo.
Yeah.
But we knew Lou. We knew who Lou was. And we couldn't get it right. Like we just, there was some, if I remember correctly, we had to get his grades up a little bit. Finances were tough for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of knew, first of all, he's like the most respectful. Yeah, he was the most respectful kid I've ever met.
Yeah.
So talented. Yeah. Right. And then at the end of his freshman year, he did everything he was supposed to do. He got his grades right. Mm-hmm. We figured out, how to make it feasible for him to be there. He worked. Like people don't know it. But Lou paid his way through St.Joes. He was on a work study program and would work on the weekends. And now his mom worked like 3 jobs, and Poughkeepsie, his brother, everybody helped.
Yeah.
But Lewis was a big part of his own future. He paid, he worked, and that money went to his tuition.
Yeah.
That's why I love him so much. Like, he's out there digging holes at St.Joes in the summer and then going to practice.
Yeah, yeah.
So a kid like Lou.
It shows you even how much he believes in you too.
I mean, he's a special one, man. He is a special one. Like, just obviously a great player. Yeah. But human being wise. Yeah. I love that kid, man. Yeah. The kid, he's a grown man now. He's married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is, it blows my mind. But, he guys like Lou are what makes this thing really special. Yeah.
Bigger than football.
I would put Audric in that same category.
Yeah.
It was, and not to get off topic, but
no problem.
There were opportunities that I was starting to get, starting around 16. We won, and then now the colleges start to see what we're building, and guys were leaving. Chris Partridge went from PC, went to Michigan, and now he's with the Seahawks. You know what I mean? So guys were starting to make that jump from high school to college, and I was starting to get
some looks.
Yeah, but there was always a kid or two that I would say I couldn't leave because I loved this kid, Yeah. And then, in 18, when Brian Flores got the job in Miami.
He got the job from high school?
No. Brian went from college to, we played in college. Then he went to New England Patriots. Okay. And he started as a scout. Okay. And he was with the Patriots, I think, for 13 or 14 years. But he went from a scout and he worked his way all the way up to be the DC. Okay. The year they won the Super Bowl when Malcolm Butler intercepted the pass
at the Seahawks.
Versus Seahawks.
Yeah. 13? He was the defensive coordinator.
He was defensive coordinator. No, it was 17 or 18. I think it was 18. I started talking to him about these opportunities that were coming up in college. And I was asking him, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And this was during the season. And he said, well, I think I'm going to get a head job this year. I think I'm going to I got a couple opportunities. Yeah. He said, why don't you just come with me? Why would you go with somebody else? I'm like, well, this is the NFL. It's like, So he got the job in Miami. I went down for an interview and he offered me a job. And he made it very clear. He's like, I'm not giving you anything. This is one of my best friends. Yeah. He's like, you're gonna interview, and so I interviewed, and he offered me a job, and mentally I was not there. Mm-hmm. I was not ready to leave because there was always somebody, And then fast forward to 19, Boston College offered me a tight end job, and then Rutgers offered me a job. And it was the first time that financially it put me in a different category. Yeah. Like all of the other jobs were a little better than what I was making. Yeah. But it never made sense to uproot everybody and leave. Yeah. And mentally I wasn't ready. But in 19, after that season, I was ready. Yeah. And now couple it with financially, you've now stepped into a different realm. It was the hardest decision of my life.
Yeah.
And really because of Audric, because I love that kid, man. Like I seen him grow up, play for the Hornets from 6th grade or 5th grade on. And I would tell people, like, you guys know Lenny Rogers, right? You know Lenny?
Yeah.
Lenny would ask me, and I said, Lenny, he's playing in the NFL. I'm just telling you, bro. Like, this kid is different.
Yeah.
I mean, he was young. He wasn't a reclass. He was a freshman at 13. And we brought him up to play in the green and gold scrimmage with the varsity. And he destroyed everybody.
What?
And I'm like, do I bring this 13-year-old kid up and play varsity right now? And luckily we didn't need him yet.
Yeah.
So he stayed down there and just dominated as a freshman, you know. But going in, like I had to leave him as a senior.
Oh.
Like I didn't coach him as a senior.
Oh.
And that affected our relationship.
Yeah.
And it was really hard.
Yeah.
And it's not until now that we've had a chance to kind of really man to man have that conversation. You know, we had a real candid conversation about a year ago, maybe a little more. And he asked me, how hard was it for you to go? And how hard was it for you to recruit me at Rutgers? And I said, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in a professional setting.
Yeah.
Because I was not ready to I didn't want to let him down.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to make that decision to leave. And then recruit him was a totally different, it was uncomfortable. Like it wasn't me. It wasn't me and him anymore.
Yeah.
And then it became business.
Yeah.
Which it never was.
Yeah.
So, you know, it definitely affected us, and now everything's good.
Yeah,
you know? But those were always the conversations I would have. Like, how could I leave this guy?
Yeah.
How could I leave this dude? You know what I mean? And then eventually it becomes a point where it's like, I'd be doing the wrong thing for me, my family, if I didn't go.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes you gotta do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So leaving St.Joes. In the back of your mind, did you know that maybe you would kind of come back, or did you really think that was just a chapter left?
No, I had put it out of my mind. Like I had closed the book.
Yeah.
You know? Because I couldn't live there. I couldn't live in, I'll just come back.
Yeah.
I would have never grown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just had to kind of like ex-girlfriend it. Like that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
New chapter.
And love it. You know, be supportive of St.Joes.
Yeah.
But I couldn't let myself think, it'll you know, I'll just come back.
Yeah.
So I never thought that. You know, and then having gone to Rutgers, I was there for 3 years and then got fired.
You were there with Pacheco, correct?
Yeah. So I coached Pacheco for 2 years. Coached Kyle Monungai for 2 years.
Okay.
So I had the running
Jersey too, no?
Yeah. He went to Don Bosco. Yeah. I coached the running backs for 2 years, and I got moved to the offensive line for 1 year.
Okay.
And then got fired after the 22 season. And I always laugh when people say, "Oh my God, you got fired. Why?" I'm like, I didn't do a good enough job. You know, that's why you get fired. Yeah. You know, if you did a great job, nobody's firing you.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And I just find it funny.
Yeah.
And listen, that's not easy. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Right? That's like getting cut.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's telling you you're not good enough.
Yeah.
But learned a lot, learned a ton. You know, it messed me up a little bit. Like you got to kind of reevaluate. Am I good enough?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, all these things. And then get the opportunity to go coach at Columbia that summer in the summer of 23. Mark Fabish, who's a good friend of mine, Bergen Catholic grad. We had always known each other because he was at Penn and then Columbia for so many years and recruited our guys and created a great friendship throughout the years recruiting.
Yeah.
He offered me, Coach Bagnoli, who was the longtime coach at Columbia, stepped down. Mark stepped in as the head coach, and he called me and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing this summer?" I said, "Well, I'm coaching the Mawa Junior Thunderbirds, you know, 6th and 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade team." And he's like, well, how would you feel about coming here and coaching the tight ends? And I was very hesitant. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if the college thing is my gig. And
yeah.
He's like, well, why don't you just come down and see it?
Yeah.
And I went down and really fell in love with the place. It was a half the commute of going to, everybody's like, oh my God, you gotta go to the Bronx every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'll go to that's 30 minutes, bro. Piscataway's an hour and 5, and I'm doing 85 down 287 to get there, sleeping in the office. So, but we weren't very good. We were 3-7, but one of the best years I ever had coaching was at Columbia, because those guys reminded me of the St.Joes guys.
Okay. That
league reminded me of the Big North because, I've said this a million times, the Ivy League, there's a finite number of kids in the country that can play at the Ivy League academically.
Yeah.
And then each Ivy is so different that the kids pick the place that they love the most.
Yeah.
For no other reason than they want to play football at that school.
Yeah.
Right? There's no NIL at that time.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of North Jersey guys, got, Seton Hall Prep, Ridgewood. I coached, 2 kids from Seton Hall Prep, 1 kid from Ridgewood, another kid from Ohio who was like, just like, and I loved it. I mean, we had a really great year together. I still talk to those guys. Mark's one of my dear friends. He's the head coach at Petty now, doing great things over there. And, thankful to him for kind of giving me that opportunity.
Yeah.
And then, I'm following the season. I can remember I'm breaking down Harvard and I got my iPad up watching the Joes Bergen game, wanting to see what's going on with that and supporting them. And then their season ended and Danny got, they were moving in a different direction. And that's when it kind of started to pick up speed of
the return. Are
you going to come back?
So do you remember that first inkling? Like, did someone who reached out to you? What did you hear? What was the first wait, all of a sudden now people kind of putting my name into this?
I mean, it was a lot of the alums, guys that I'm very close with friendship wise. Nobody from the school,
Yeah.
They were like, you got to do this. Like, you got to come back. We got to bring it back. And they start talking about bringing it back,
Yeah.
And that got me going. and then, Augie, my son, was in 7th grade, I think. So that's in the back of my mind. I always wanted to coach.
Yeah. So the timelines could add up.
So now it's starting to add up. You know? And before you know it, it became a real thing,
Yeah.
And to St.Joes' credit, they didn't make it easy. They did a full search. It was not going to be a slam dunk by any means. So I think that was the most prepared I had ever been, because I was not going to give them a reason to say no.
Yeah.
That was really how I felt. And I took everything I learned at Rutgers, everything I learned at Columbia, all the success we had the first go around. And I showed up with like a 40-page book about how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I didn't get the job, it wasn't like, they didn't want me.
Yeah.
Because I felt
it was deeper than you.
Yeah, because I felt like I'm the most prepared.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's going to love this place more than me.
Yeah.
I think I said that in my meeting. I said, I don't know that if Bill Belichick wanted this job, he's the right guy for St.Joes.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Because it's in my blood. Like, I love that place. So that's how I prepared for it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted the job. I went and got the job.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of work to do right away.
Yeah.
Because
now this is, first of all, the team maybe wasn't as successful, but had a lot of talent, but maybe wasn't as successful. But at the same time, it's a clean slate of players from when you were last there.
Yes.
It's not like you have, if I'm not mistaken, it's not like you have any lingering players from your last era.
No.
So now it's kind of a new, even though you've been there before, it's a new clean slate of
100%. And it's funny because I had recruited guys like Yasin. Like I was recruiting him actively before I left. So that was the only that class, the class that was going out when I was coming in. There was a couple guys that I had kind of been in the mix recruiting.
Yeah. Your first season back is the 23-4.
24-25.
24-25.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there had just been a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Like they had heard about me and the success we had, but nobody really knew. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Nate Bailey. Matter of fact, when I saw Nate Bailey, I was like, this is Nate Bailey? Like, this is the guy, he was like a chubby wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the best player in North Jersey? There's no way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you watch him, you're like, oh,
this kid's
crazy. But we had a ton of talent on that team. I just don't think they knew how to win yet. And then I felt bad because we were really close in the semifinals against Bergen that year. We were up 14-0 and we couldn't close it out because that group, they worked hard. We put them through a lot. I mean, it was like a total 180 culture shift.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like, if there was a hair out of place, go fix it.
Yeah.
And for some of them, it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Some of those guys. But a lot of those guys were dying to win.
Yeah.
So I felt like I wish we could have pulled it out for them.
Yeah.
I wish we could have at least gotten to the finals and they can experience the finals.
Yeah, MetLife,
the whole thing, but listen, it is what it is, and they were, I told those guys, they were the architects of the next wave,
because it was always going to be hard to win year one.
Yeah.
Not saying it's impossible, but it was always going to be
it was going to be hard.
Yep. So like,
yeah.
And you got to think Bosco Bergen already established in what they're doing ish. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a whole turnover in one end, but these other teams, St. Peter's, Bosco, Bergen, whatever, they're all already
but
uniform.
Right. And I think that the public consensus was it's going to take 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard that. I heard people tell me that.
Yeah.
You'll get it back 4 years from now. But I will remind people, like, just remember what it used to be like. You know what I mean? Like, not to be, but there's an ego to that too. Like, guys, we left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't get it
like,
twisted.
You didn't, it wasn't like you knocked us out off the block.
Yeah.
We left. So we're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And
it's like when Jordan retired.
That's a great analogy.
You'll take that?
I'll take it. But
it's like when Jordan retired. Like, don't get me wrong. Houston won. They're champions forever. But if Jordan plays, Jordan might win 8 straight.
That's right.
Mike.
I'm glad you said it. So I'm going to just agree with you. But no, I think coming back with all the experience that I had, so much more well-equipped than the first go around to actually get it done.
Yeah.
And listen, in the end, we put them we pointed them in a direction. They were the ones, the players took the trip. They bought in. They did everything.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of in the background.
Yeah.
We gave them the tools to do it.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to win over the locker room? Because like to go from one coach to another coach, there must be some tension in the locker room.
Yeah.
So how do you
it was
that?
Can you face the mic a little bit more? Yeah. No problem.
It was different because I had such a good relationship with the guys on my first go around. I recruited all of them. I was with them. All the things. When I first came back, it was like they looked at me differently. I was probably like too friendly with the group the first round. Because I was a kid when I met a lot of them. Like I was 28 years old when I first started coaching.
Yeah.
And you're always kind of seen as the kid.
Yeah.
You know? Then I leave and I come back and now it's like, oh, I could feel their hesitation with me because I was such a hard ass when I first came back.
Yeah.
I'm still a hard ass, but like I was like over the top. Like really over the top.
Yeah.
You know, so I could feel their hesitation. And then I had to kind of figure out, well, how do I let them see
who you are,
who I am without being
too
soft.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want them to take the joking around and the, for like, oh, he's not,
Yeah.
So there was that give and take, it was really hard. But I think some of the guys had an easier time than, some others.
Yeah.
Vin Ferrara being one, right? Vin, first of all, Vin's like a 40-year-old man anyway. So, but he was one of the guys and, that jumped in the boat right away. I think Nate jumped in the boat right away. Jameer, I think he was a little bit, he didn't know.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right? And a couple other guys, like there were other guys, but then Ja came around.
Yeah.
And you started to see those guys now. And I didn't want to give them an inch because I wanted them to know like this is how it's got to be done.
Yeah.
But eventually you just become who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that evolved. I'm in the weight room with them every day. Like that's my baby. Like I love the weight area. You know what I mean? So I'm with them every single morning, 6 a.m. I'm with them in the afternoons. Like, so now they're starting to see a different side of me, right? They're seeing that guy. And then eventually the comfort level grows because I think they know, all right, he's not doing this to be a hard ass. He's doing this because this is the right way to do things. Yeah. And this is the way things needed to get done in order to be successful. So it probably took to the end of the year of that first year. Yeah. For those guys to kind of see the other side. And then the 25 team just kind of picked right up. Yeah. And the personalities were different. Yeah.
Like now they had a year with you already, so now they kind of know
exactly. They knew what to expect. Like the workouts weren't a shock anymore. Yeah, yeah. And they knew what it was. Yeah. And they would push me a little bit. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. Because now they're like, man, you get, what if we do this? Nah, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? But that would have never happened year one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was good. Yeah. Yeah.
So this might be not the easiest thing to admit or not. Right. But did you feel like that 24 team was a realistic title contender versus the 25 team? Like 25, I think maybe you feel more confident going into the year. No, we could do something special. 24, you knew it was going to be a toughie.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be tough because I know the league. Yeah. And we didn't have the guys up front to sustain the league, to sustain what the league brought year in or week in and week out. Yeah. We had a ton of skill. Yeah. Right. But we had, the roster was so lopsided when I came back. We didn't have a ton of linemen, So that I knew was going to be an uphill battle. Yeah. Because you need those guys in this league to be able to slow down some of these offenses. Yeah. I mean, Berg and Catholic in the semifinals, they just ran the ball right over us. Yeah. That's what they did. I mean, the quarterback is Dom Vito's son. I think he rushed for like 20 times. He rushed the ball 20 times.
As a quarterback.
And he's not a running quarterback. Yeah. But they were just mowing us down. Yeah. Couldn't stop the run. Yeah. We had St. Francis on the ropes week 0. Mm-hmm. And then they got into like double tight, big personnel, and we couldn't stop the run. Yeah. So that was that. Nolan James at DePaul ran all over us. You know what I mean? So when you don't have the guys up front that you need, and not saying that those guys that we had were not tough, but you just need depth.
Yeah.
You need guys.
Yeah.
You know, you look at our team now compared to that 24 team.
Yeah.
Our team now is huge.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
Yeah.
You know, so you need those guys. So I knew it was going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we could maybe out-athlete some of the guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the end, that's not who we are.
Yeah.
We want to play smash mouth football on both sides.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to stop the run and you got to be able to run the ball.
Yeah. So now going into the year, into 25.
Mm-hmm.
That was a crazy up and down year. Right. But at the same time, now you kind of implemented yourself, implemented your staff, your system.
Yeah.
But now you got guys like Nate, senior year, Lamar, Christian, Brady.
Yeah. Danny Montesano.
Danny, yeah. In the backfield, you got Kai Sean. You got the talent levels, all of Stalin's going crazy. Stalin's having a breakout year. Right. All of a sudden, right, the beginning of the season, I think everybody could see the talent. On the defense, honestly, that's another take, right? You had a few hot takes. Your defense between last year and this year, I think you're gonna have a few. You're gonna have a few NFL. You might have at least 4 or 5.
I think
NFL.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
no doubt.
The defense is great. And I think that's gonna be another big thing this year. We're gonna get to this year coming up, but now all of a sudden, now going into this year, last year, you get the emergence of a Cam. You get Jay getting healthy.
Yeah.
You get Trayvon, you get Nas, you get AJ in a senior year, right? All of a sudden, right, the pieces are there.
Yep.
But there's a few, injuries. There's a few mishaps. There's a few, like the Bosco game. I was with Steve at the Bosco game.
Yeah, that was
I told Mr. St. Roses that same day. When you guys lost to Bosco, I said, I think if Bosco's the best team, because I'm just, this is my first year at Joes. Right. I'm just kind of seeing everything. Right. Everybody's saying Bosco's the best team.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I watch football. Sure. I just didn't know, the league yet.
Right.
I'm like, if Bosco's the best team, Joes could win the state chip this year.
Yeah.
Based off that game.
Sure.
Because, if we're being for real, mistakes happen, whatever. But the way the defense held up that game, the way, like you guys, it was a wet day on top of that. You guys, you guys outplayed them.
Yeah, listen, we did. You look at the stats, we did. We didn't score enough.
Yeah.
That's the only biggest thing.
We missed field goals. They did a great job. Listen, can't take it away from them.
Yeah.
We didn't finish. But you tend to kind of, after a game like that, you're like, oh my God, like the world came to an end. You got to fix it. No, but we had to execute.
Yeah.
Like that was the difference. We didn't execute. So, you get the opportunity to do that now. You're really good. Now you execute better. Good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the kicker missed those field goals, right? Mentally, how did mentally, I know he felt probably bad and all that, right? But how do you guys turn the switch around and be like, all right, bro, just forget this. Forget this happened. Let's move on to the next thing.
Listen, you never want to put it on one thing, right? If we could have gotten off the field on a third down, if we could have extended a drive on a third down, maybe he's not in that situation.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do is try to get a 16, 17-year-old kid to forget about the last play.
Yeah.
It's hard for NFL players to do it.
Yeah.
The great ones are able to just shut it off and move on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we talked about. Like, hey, look, man, this is going to happen in your life. It's going to happen. You're going to miss. How do you respond?
Yeah.
So that was that, and luckily they did that.
Yeah.
They just did a great job.
Did the players go in first, or was it more like the coaching staff that talked to him?
Yeah. We talked to him but there's nothing I'm going to say in that moment that's going to make him feel better.
Yeah. There's a balance of being a coach and a balance of being understanding, even as an athlete, sometimes you just got to go, you missed it. As a person, you just got to go through it. That's right. Just what it is. Yeah. I don't feel like he needs necessarily, of course, at some point he's going to need the comfort of the coach, but at some, either way, he's going to have to just sit and just dwell and move on.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So now as the season progressing, like you said, Bergen game, that was one of the craziest games ever.
Yeah.
Craziest.
That was crazy.
That was an all-time crazy game.
Yes.
Mason breaks his foot.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, honestly, at this point, like, look,
yeah,
maybe it's not meant to be.
That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly how I felt.
Down to your
I was
third
like,
string
you know what?
now.
Like, this ain't it. Man. I don't know, man. It was not meant to. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Nate's mom, at no point did she ever allow me to believe that. She was like, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, and she's part of the touchdown club, and you know, we would have these meetings and she'd be like, we're good.
Yeah.
We are good. And I'm like, are you watching this thing? Like, do you see what's going on here? We don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, like just a calming, you know, and having that conversation with Lamar was not easy.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
So if he had said to me, Coach, like, I got to have this surgery. I got to protect myself.
Yeah.
What could I have said to him?
Yeah.
I would have been like, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Because he was committed, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we sat down with his parents and I just said to him, listen, this is going to sound like a lot of pressure. I'm going to support you in anything you decide. We have a chance to win this whole thing. We will never do it without you. We can't. So I know your surgery's scheduled for next week.
Yeah.
I said, but you get one shot at this thing, one high school opportunity. You will put your name in the history books, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that you're going to have the surgery, I'm going to support you.
This is for a torn labrum, by the way.
Yeah, in his throwing shoulder.
In his throwing shoulder. Torn labrum in his throwing shoulder.
So, to his credit, he was like, I'm in. And his mom and dad were very supportive. And we took care of him. Like, we didn't throw him during the week.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the games, look at that DePaul game, Kaishan had 3 rushing touchdowns. I think we rushed the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
He didn't throw a ball over 20 yards. Del Barton, that was, you know, we didn't need him.
Yeah.
We did what we had to do, right?
Yeah.
That was but then St. Peter's, he opened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
They had 4 touchdowns, right? I think.
Nate had 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the finals.
Yo.
What a final.
Lamar Best, that's one.
That's an all-timer. That's
all time.
That's all time.
People talk about it, they're like that. He was down. He almost went down. I don't know how he stayed up on that third down to extend the.
Yeah.
You know, but that's who
he was down. No, like
he was dead to rights.
Yo, the guy was at his foot. Nah, that was
dead
crazy.
to rights. Like but
it's like pick your poison. You got that play. You got the throw to Stalin.
Yeah.
You got the rush.
Yep.
Like
it was crazy. You know, so we don't win the state championship without him. Yeah. No chance.
You know what's crazy? When he came on I told him this story when he came on the podcast, but during the school year, when the situation that happened with him with decommitting from Delaware, the whole situation, obviously, you know, it sounded crazy, but it's like, yo, the timing of everything was so crazy for him. Like in terms of like, you know, I'm sure when he got the injury, he thinks everything is like,
sure,
you know, even for you guys, you think everything is screwed. Right. But then it's like Delaware decommits. Now all of a sudden I told him, if you win a state chip, somebody's going to come.
100%.
Somebody's going to, and it's like literally for everybody, it turned out like the craziest situation.
Because you know he's a winner.
Yeah.
He is.
And you know he's tough.
Yeah.
And he's super talented.
Yeah.
You know,
so what was that MetLife experience like for you? This time around?
Yeah, it was totally different. Totally different. It was like just letting all out, like all the stress.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like I think if you see my reaction.
There's pictures of you in tears.
And you see like Naz, our O-line coach, he was like shaking me. He's like, we've won, like, be happy. And I was like, it's just like when we knocked that ball down, when Colton knocked the ball down,
Yeah. And he was confused.
I was mad at him because he didn't know the down and distance. He, you know, he didn't realize it. You could see, like, he was mad that he didn't intercept it.
He thought he should have caught it,
Which, thank God, he just knocked it down.
Yeah.
I was still in the mode of, like, you got to know the, you know, the situation, and how do you not know the situation? And then I was like, well, wait a minute, like, this is it. They can't do nothing. It's over.
It's our ball.
It's our ball. Yeah. We're going to down this thing and we're going to win the state championship.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I got the water, and Naz was like, he was like shaking. He was like, we won. I'm like, I know. Like, I'm just trying to, you know, so just such a happy moment for the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
obviously you love to win. You want to be the winner and all that stuff, but like, felt so happy for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they fought so hard.
Yeah.
Against every obstacle and just answered the bell. You know, and that's what men do. That's what I talk to them about all the time. Like, you got to stand up, you know, like Coach O'Leary said, he was talking to the team before. It's about standing and delivering. Yeah. You know, and he did that. They did that. Yeah. So just a great feeling.
Yeah. And even that game was a crazy game. Even though, like, you won multiple times at MetLife already. Right. Do you think the combination of the comeback, being, you know, the resurgence of Joes, helping lead the resurgence of Joes, giving this big senior class a moment like that, even for your kids probably weren't, if I'm not, they weren't that old for your old championships. No. So that was one of their first experiences with you. Yeah. You know, seeing you as a coach at the MetLife stage. Right. The combination of all those, like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was it was really unlike any feeling I had. Yeah. You know, it's funny. The year before, we were at Bergen in the semifinals, and I was just kind of listening to my music, and somebody asked me, like, oh, what are you thinking right now? And I was like, well, honestly, what I was thinking was, I had the opportunity to coach at the Big House, Happy Valley, Ohio State, you know, go down the list. I've never felt at any one of those spots the way I feel right now here in Oradell, New Jersey. Yeah. Getting ready to play Bergen Catholic in the semifinals. Yeah. So, you know, you amplify that by a million in the state championship game against Don Bosco. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, pretty cool.
What was the best atmosphere out of all the three chips? What was the best atmosphere?
I think 25. Really? Yeah, because
there was a lot of people.
It was packed. It was almost 20,000 people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The student section was wild.
Yo.
You know.
Okay, as a coach, and obviously you're a Joes guy too, you know? So is it hard for you to sometimes separate yourself from, like, yo, like, these kids are going crazy versus, like, no, like, this is kind of lit. Like, this is like...
I love it. Okay. Listen, the night pit, the crazier the better. Yeah. I want it. I want it all. Like, I want all the craziness. I want the face paint. I want the cheers. I want it all. Like, I will never not be a kid at that point. Like, that, the kid in me loves that. I will always support them. I'm trying to figure out a way to get them out to Chicago. Yeah. Like, we're figuring it out. Yeah. But, you know, the 18 game was pouring rain. Like, they almost had to cancel the game. Oh, wow. It was really that bad. And so everybody was kind of back underneath.
Oh, inside. Yeah.
You know what I mean? 16, my first one as a head coach. Yeah. Was special. Yeah. But it was the group 3, right? Oh, you know, so we're beating DePaul, which was a great team. And we ended up number 1 that year. Yeah. But it was not.
You didn't beat Don Bosco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you beat in 18?
In Bergen.
Bergen. Okay, so yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh, so 18, so 25 had the it was cold, I'm not gonna lie.
It was cold as hell.
That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy. Right. But it had the combination of people could at least be outside.
Yeah. Comfortably. And everybody was there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a crisp night. It was just cold.
Yeah.
but they were right there.
Yeah.
You know,
and Bosco, Bosco Joes is.
Yeah. You know, and you listen.
And we all saw how the first game, you know what I'm saying? So we know, like, it was about to be a crazy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, anybody that thought they were just going to roll us, what information do you have that says that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of the people, a lot of the odds were all on Bosco's side.
I mean, there was not one person that picked us. There wasn't, and that's just how we like it.
Yeah.
But, that atmosphere was
crazy.
It was awesome.
That was crazy.
Awesome.
So now into this year, it's a different team.
Yeah. Yes.
Lost some linemen, skill positions. Some people that you literally listed in some of the best ever laced it up for Joes. Right. How does St.Joes defend the title this year?
Yeah. We stay the course. Like, we know exactly now what it takes. So, and I've said this a bunch. If we're not working and living up to what we've done, and I'm not saying we have to live in the past, but you got to learn from the past.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not sitting there saying, we're not working as hard as that, we won't win.
Yeah.
We will not win. But if we can do that, we at least give ourselves a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that we're figuring out who we are, our identity.
Mm-hmm.
We lost obviously great players, but we lost bigger personalities.
Yeah.
Which on a team means everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out who those guys are now, and I think they are. And listen, we're going to find out real quick how good we are.
Yeah. Season starts soon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Playing Mount Carmel and then Creekside. Like,
this is two of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
From Georgia and from Chicago.
Yep.
Well, Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some on both sides of the ball, right? Some exciting players that we should be looking forward to, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we got Stalin Noden. We got wide receiver commit to Columbia, your former.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you played a part in that. You know what I'm saying? But great player.
Yep.
And he's going to have a big year, especially as potentially the guy. He's, I don't know how the offensive scheme is going to work or not, but he's one of them. He's one of them.
Yep.
He's one of them. We got David.
Yep.
David, he has the build to be like the craziest wide receiver. And I tell him this all the time. He could be really special.
Yes.
And I think with more trust, like he's gonna.
Yeah.
You guys could rely on him, and he's gonna show up when it matters.
Absolutely.
Right? But your running back situation's crazy now.
Yeah.
It's getting 3 running because obviously Kaishan, everybody knows from last year.
Right.
Andrew.
Yep.
Wilson transferred in from Bosco, and he's going crazy.
Yep.
And then now Blake.
Yes.
So if I'm not like I said, I'm not gonna act like I'm a completely versed football guy. But being in the building last year, Blake was injured last year.
Yes.
So sometimes when you see the kids, like
you're not sure.
Some kids talk a storm. Some kids you don't really know who's nice. You don't know because he's on crutches all year. So I didn't know.
Yes.
So then now I'm talking to some of the guys that are like, nah, he's nice.
Oh, Blake's like that. So what people don't know is Blake coming out of the green and gold last year as a freshman was in the conversation as the starter. Definitely one or two.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
For varsity.
Wow. So think about that. Because think about how good Richie was for us last year. Yeah. Tough, the whole thing. But Blake, it was hard. We were neck and neck, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And he got hurt. So I knew what we had in him.
Yeah.
We just had to get him healthy.
Yeah.
Andrew fell into our lap, just crazy situation, started for them and just wanted to change the scenery. And, thank God we got him.
Yeah.
And then Kaishan, you tell me.
Yeah, he's crazy.
You know what I mean? So you got 2 backs that are 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And then Kaishan,
who's a speedy, shifty.
Yeah,
he's sending dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the running back room is awesome.
Are these, as a coach, are these good problems to have? Absolutely. Or does it get a little tricky? Or does it just make you a little bit more complex with the offensive scheme?
No, I think listen, we got to put our best 11 on the field. So if that means we got to have our 3 running backs on the field at once, then we're going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it only becomes tricky if you're not honest. If you're not upfront with them, then you're constantly chasing your tail.
Yeah.
But if you can build the mindset of we need everybody here.
Yeah.
And they believe it. It's just not, rhetoric. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, this is a tough league. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to get banged up.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have a major injury, but you took a helmet in the knee.
Yeah. And
you can't bend your knee the rest of that game. So you better have somebody else that can do it.
Yeah.
You know? So, but that's all about coaching. That's all about getting the guys to believe that they're as much a part of this thing as anybody. And then promoting that and showing them that's the case. We played 2 quarterbacks in every game. Yeah. Who does that?
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. What kids buy into that?
Yeah.
These days.
Yeah. It shows the program that you're
I think it's the culture of what we have going on. We're going to play a lot of offensive linemen this year. You know,
it's just what it is.
It's just what it is. We got 7 or 8 guys that can all be starters.
Yeah.
But you can only start 5.
Yeah.
You know, and you go heavy, you can start 6.
Yeah.
You know, but somebody's not going to start the game, but they're all going to play.
Yeah.
If you believe in what we're doing and you love this place and you put the team before you, this is the St.Joes is the right spot for you.
Yeah.
Because everybody then will get exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
So like as a coach, how do you get like high schoolers to believe in that though? Because like it's one thing to say to put the team before you,
right? But
you as an individual though,
right,
is like I want to play. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, you beat it into their head. Like it is not something that you can't say it and then never touch on it again.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also got to be men of your word and show them that this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like if I tell you you're going to play and believe in what I'm telling you and then you never play, well, then I'm a liar and I'm full of it.
Yeah.
And you're not getting what you want.
Yeah.
But you're doing exactly what I'm asking you to do. I have no problem playing you. We're going to rotate guys. We're going to keep guys fresh. Oh, coach, he's doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because you gotta work with the players too. Like you can't expect them to be all in for you and you just.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, listen, they need to know that number one, us as coaches are all in for them first.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they know that.
Yeah.
I think they see the work that goes in. You know, but then you got to show them the fruits of their labor. Like they have to see it. Mm-hmm. Because then, like you said, if they don't see it, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, so they see it and you just got to keep, feeding the machine. And listen, inevitably there's going to be a game where one of the running backs is taking the lion's share of the carries because he's hot.
If he's cooking, you got to.
That's it.
But if that's your brother, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. Because you're going to have your day too.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, it's okay to have a lot of talent, you know? Like that, and that's the thing I think sometimes they gotta realize, like they're all different styles a little bit too, which is good. Yeah. You know, they're not all like the exact same type of build, running back, which is good.
Yeah.
So that makes it, I think, a little bit easier too but all great problems to have.
Yeah, but like, give me all the talent.
Yeah.
I want all the best players.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't want to have 1 or 2 great players. I want all the best players.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want the best players?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If there's another Nate Bailey walking around somewhere, I want him with me.
Yeah.
I want to play against him.
Yeah.
You know?
So now, obviously, there's a lot of turnover with the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. Mason's has left. Lamar's left. But there is some talent with Ralph.
Yeah.
There is some talent with potentially... I've heard a lot about the freshman Willie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet. I haven't met him yet, but I've heard a lot about him, and he could play multiple positions. Yes. I've heard. I don't know exactly what the quarterback situation is going to be, but defensively, this team this team is, I think, as good as it gets.
I think you're right.
I think even better than last year's team, potentially.
Yes. Could be. I mean, talent-wise, it could be. I mean, Tahj is better than last year. Cam is better than last year. Chaz is better than last year. Jay Gillette, when he comes back, he'll be better than he was last year.
Yeah.
Ryan Barry, better than last year.
There were some second halves of last season that was happening. It was like defense was like, on it.
So, yeah. I mean, we have, and then we got some great young guys, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun season.
It's going to be a goodie. It's going to be a goodie. Last few, I just want to tell you, I spoke prior to the podcast. I spoke with Nate Bailey and I spoke with Louis Acceus, right? About a few things pertaining you and what they feel like you have meant to their journey.
Okay.
And the impact you've had on them.
Right.
So first, Louis, right? I kind of wanted to go old era of your coaching to your new era of your coaching, right? The first thing I said, first of all, when we announced the podcast, Louis commented, he said, "Yo, the GOAT's coming on the podcast," right? So yesterday I spoke to him. The first thing I said to him, I said, "Yo, I just want to ask you, what does he mean to you as a player and as a person?" The first thing he said, he literally said, "Man, that guy changed so many people's lives." That's the first thing he said. And I asked him, "Do you think that you'd be a great player without him?" And he said, "If I'm being honest, the funny little Lou comes in, he's like, I would be nice. I would be good." But he said generally he doesn't think he would be great because he feels like you brought out another level of confidence in him that he didn't quite have going into Joes. Right. And he said that genuinely, and he, Louis is, for a lot of people that don't know, Louis is, especially during his high school time, this is one of the best high school players in the country.
Yes.
Recruited by top, he's
could have played linebacker or running back.
Yeah, or running
wanted back. No part of playing running
back.
You're talking about some of the best schools in the country wanted them to play running back. And he was like, "Coach, I don't want to talk to them."
Yeah. Literally had a choice.
Yeah.
He said that you're the best coach he's ever played for. Because he feels like, yes, football wise, but he said he feels like it's family with you. Right. It's deeper. He feels like when he went to college, obviously college is a little bit more business.
Sure.
It's not the same. And he felt like generally that you had that level of impact on him. Now, Nate.
Oh, God. I can only imagine.
Nate Bailey, right? Obviously, for the more recent people, a lot of people know, he's young, but you could probably say at St.Joes legend at this point.
No doubt.
Stamped himself with a chip.
Yes.
He thinks that you generally changed the trajectory of his career. He thinks that you helped, just like when you were talking about before, there's a lot of talent, but maybe the practices at first was tough because of the structure and what it took to be great.
Right.
He felt like you laid the structure to help take that talented team to being champions. Yeah. He said that you raised the standard in a lot of ways. And he said, even just watching you on a day-to-day, right? He said, watching you on a day-to-day, how you live, the way that you preach to your kids, they see you live that through your day-to-day. Even he was like, Augie was a lineman. And now you see, he's the most fittest dude. He look like he can go on GQ right now.
Oh, man.
But this is what these kids of that stature are saying about you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get a little bit of what that means to you, hearing that from two of the best of the best.
Right. I think, but listen, that is something that a coach, you can't replace those type of comments, right? That is something that it hits home instantly. I feel like I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing,
Yeah.
Those relationships are why I came back to high school, and because it's never the same. High school is so special, right? You get to impact these guys in such a way, if they allow it, right? And it's what you build, right? I think it's the culture that you build, but you get to impact young men in a way that it'll never be that way again. So listen, those two guys are two guys that I love more than anything, and two distinctly different personalities.
Yeah.
Lou, you have to pry words out of.
Yeah.
You know, Nate, you don't.
Yeah.
You know, but like hearing that coming from those two guys, it means the world.
Yeah.
You know, like if I ever thought, what am I doing? I'm going to think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And say, all right, that's what I'm doing it for. You know?
I do want to say, Nate also told me to say this story.
Of course.
He told me to say this story. First of all, I will say, both of them said that they would run through a brick wall for you. But Nate said there was a game his junior year against DePaul.
Right.
And we're going to get the clip of this.
Okay.
But on Jersey Sports Zone, I think Nate scored a touchdown.
Right.
And there's a clip of you pulling him and you're talking to him in his ear. And Nate said that people have always been wondering, what did you say to him? So Nate was like, he was saying this story in terms of, he was trying to get people to understand the type of coach that you are, the type of things that you bring out of players,
right?
Why they would want to run through a wall for you. Nate's like, you told Nate, go tell Nova, the offensive coordinator, you're taking over this game. You're about to take over this game, and you emphasize to him, obviously, who he is as a player. But even those little moments of you pushing him, right, where he straight up told me, like, a guy that's been through what you've been through, for you to feel the trust in him, that Augie feels like, I'm the guy that's going to go win this game.
Yep.
How can I not?
Yeah.
How can I not go through everything for him?
1,000%.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly what I told him. You know, I said, look, we're going to win this because of you. That's the reality, you know?
Yeah.
And so you lay that groundwork in 24, right? Now fast forward to 25. We're playing St. Peter's Prep in the semifinal game. He scores 2 touchdowns the first 2 drives. We stall out the next 2. They go in. We go in. I don't know if we were tied or we were down 14-13, I think. As we're walking into the locker room, he comes up to me and he says, hey, the 2 drives that we didn't score, I didn't touch the ball. Yeah. And now if I told that to somebody that didn't know him and didn't know my relationship with him, they would say, oh, that's kind of, you know, it's a little arrogant.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. He's 100% right, number one. He's our best player. He got to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Every series.
Yeah.
Okay. But he had the confidence in himself and in my response to come up to me and say that.
Yeah.
That is exactly what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
Like he knew that he could come up to me, have that conversation, and nothing more needed to be said. And nothing more was said. I said, yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll fix that.
How do you find the balance to actually like listen to a player? Like some coaches will, like you said, take that comment right there and be like, nah, like this is the game plan. Like I'm sticking to what I was doing at first. Like you might not even touch the ball the second half again. Yeah. So how do you, like, as a coach, be like, okay, like, I gotta listen to my players now and figure out how a way to get him the ball?
Yeah, sure. He built equity with me. Like I know Nate Bailey is going to deliver. Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a big difference from a guy like Nate Bailey and then a guy that's like, get me the ball. Like I'll show you. Okay. You know, like, and we didn't have those guys, but I'm just saying, you've had some personalities in the past. Yeah. But a guy like Nate Bailey, when he comes up to me, he wants to win this game. That's the most important thing. And by the way, like we can't win without him. Yeah. So sometimes you forget that. Yeah. Right? And the one thing I learned always, one thing that Coach Schiano talked about at Rutgers was players, not plays. Right? Get your players the ball. I don't care how you do it, but let that guy touch the ball. Yeah. And he did. Yeah. And we did, and the rest is history.
State chip.
Yeah.
So lastly, your future. Do you see yourself potentially, if an NFL offer came, right? Do you see yourself potentially taking that step?
No, I don't. I'm back in school right now. I'm getting my master's in mental health counseling.
Oh wow!
Okay. I have a big plan for when football is over, and I can say confidently that I will end my coaching career at St.Joes.
Oh wow!
And then I'm going to go into the mental health field and help athletes.
Oh
yeah. So I have a plan.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna. I said this when I was talking to Matt Sims, and I've said this a bunch, but the reality is, and somebody said this to me, what you're capable of doing and what you're meant to do are two different things. So I'm meant to be here, making the impact that we're making. But I know that there's more to me than just coaching. Yeah. And that's why I'm back in school. And I'm sure people are going to hear this and say mental health counseling. I need a mental health counselor. But the stress of athletics, the pressure, the society, culture, everything right now is so different. Yeah. That young athletes, male and female, need people that have walked in the shoes that they want to walk through, and can help them and speak their language, help them understand that, they're not alone. They're not the only one going through this. Yeah. Bad times don't last. Yeah. All the things that I learned a little late.
Maybe you can help somebody learn it earlier.
1000%. Yeah. So that's my goal.
So how much longer do you see yourself coaching?
Oh man. It's hard to say. Okay. It's hard for me to put a number on it. I'm thinking double digits at least. Okay. I feel like I got a lot of coaching in me. Yeah. I'm excited for the other part of my journey. Going back, I'm in school. Like I said, I'm in school. I'm excited for what that's going to bring. It's only going to help me. I'm doing it to be a better coach. Yeah. That's why I'm doing it. Yeah. So just very excited for what the future is going to bring. And looking forward to it all.
Okay. What's your advice to like up and coming young coaches? So right now, Nick and I were coaching So Nick and I are coaching a U13 team together. Yep. And also Nick is coaching high school right now. Sure. So what advice do you have for young coaches out there? Yeah. Like us.
I think the biggest thing is understanding your players. I tell my coaches, if you're just here to coach football, you're in the wrong spot. Like you need to be in their life. They need to know that it's not just the X's and O's. Like they got to feel like he cares about me beyond the field. Especially today's youth, the young athlete has to know that you care about them more than just about what goes on the field. Because then you can get the most out of them. Yeah. If you are just a guy that yells and screams, but never puts your arm around them or never asks them what's going on after school, what's going on, what did you do this weekend, how's the girlfriend? Yeah. Everything okay? How's mom? You'll never know the answer if you don't ask. Yeah. So there's been times where I've asked the questions and I have not liked the answer. And it's not that I don't I feel bad for I don't like the answer I'm hearing because, hey man, why you been late to school like the past 3-4 days? Coach, man, like mom works overnight. Yeah. I got to take care of my sister. I got to make sure she's up and out to school before I can come to school. If I don't ask the questions and they don't trust me enough to give me the answer, what are we doing? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Especially coaching high school now.
Why are you falling asleep in class? Yeah. And coach, like the heat's been off for I'm freezing. I'm not sleeping at night. I haven't eaten.
It might be deeper than what people think.
It's so deep. Yeah. It's so deep. Yeah. So any advice I can give to young coaches is, man, go the extra mile when it comes to the stuff off the field. Yeah. Right? And then know your stuff, right? Because if they can see through you, you'll never gain their respect. Yeah. But if they know that you're putting the work in and you care about them off the field or the court or the mat or the ice, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So what's left for Augie Hoffmann to achieve? What do you want to achieve? Do you want, let's just say, 2 more chips? Do you want 5 more chips? Do you feel content with where you're at?
No, definitely not content. I want to win a championship every year. I used to question like, how many can you win? You can win every year if you're good enough. Yeah. I want that. Like I want to win every year, and I want to raise the level, the bar at St.Joes and make us the premier program in the state for years to come. I want to make our constituents proud. I want them to say, we had 2 guys in Tony Carthage and Augie Hoffmann that meant something more than just the wins and the losses. Yeah. And I can say it as a former player and coach. He meant way more to me as a human than the wins and the losses. Yeah. And we won a lot with him. Yeah. And I hope that my guys will feel the same way about me as I do about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lastly, who is a guest that you want to see on Timeout Podcast that you could help us get?
I would love to see. Let me try to think. Player or
anything you want to. Anything you want to see. We know the list is a little.
Yeah. You know, I think in the St.Joes world, I think it would be great to get a guy like Tony Carthage on here.
Okay.
You talk about bridging the gap.
Yeah.
You know, young and old.
Yeah.
But he can give you a history.
Yeah.
A real history.
Yeah.
You know. That would be a tough sell, I think, for me to get him on.
Yeah.
But a guy like him, you know, a guy like Audric, hometown guy, Rockland County.
Yeah.
His
we trying to work on his kid. You know, he's not around as much. It's tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get him around.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it would be great for the guys to hear from Coach, because I just think that he could really give you what St.Joes was like before he came.
Yeah.
Right. That's a unique thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real unique story.
Yeah.
You know, St.Joes, and he'll tell you like when Brother Peter, who was loved universally. Brother Peter was a principal back then. We didn't have a president. We had a principal. And he was not my principal. He passed away my freshman year, but he was already gone. But if you talk to people that knew who Brother Peter was, loved that man.
Yeah.
And then he brought Coach in and changed. You know, he said it was never about wins and losses. It was about them being proud to wear the jacket.
Yeah.
Right. And Coach tells that story. Now he's woven that into pregame speeches that'll make you cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings you to tears. I listened to some of his stuff. The kids recorded it, and I listened to it, and there's not a dry eye in the house. He'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because he can give you the history of St.Joes. Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Try to make it happen.
And listen, and a more culturally relevant, famous like Devin or Jason.
Yeah.
You know, Rockland County, Spring Valley, Nyack.
That would be. I would love that. Let's
we could. Yeah. That would be awesome because they are two of the best guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, for sure.
And their track and what St.Joes meant to them.
Yeah.
And then what their their playing career was.
And now in media.
Yeah. I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
I would say those three would be great guests.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Look, man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming. This is a goodie. This is one of the best we've ever done for sure.
I love this. This was great, man.
Thanks for having me, man. As always, Nick J, Steve.
See you guys.
The man, the myth, Augie Hoffmann. Good luck with your season.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you.
All right, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.